What's up? Welcome back to the channel. Hope y'all can hear me. I got the fan going because it's warm, and I just need to be able to like stay cool. You heard? But yeah, man, been a couple weeks since I made a video. I've been busy, y'all. Busy. No thanks to eBay a lot, man. I don't know why, but for some reason, this week has been better on eBay, but the 2 weeks prior to that was like kind of crazy, man. And I think a part of it has to do with some updates I noticed, like the app has updates made to it. If you look at the app layout, it's different. You hit the home screen. Like I know for sure that like my eBay, that whole setup is different. They moved the message button. So they did some things. Another problem that I was having was that for whatever reason, I could not send offers correctly. You know what I mean? So for instance, here's what was happening. Now today is good as far as offers go, as far as sales go. I had 30 orders, not all on eBay, but 30 orders to send out today. But eBay was pretty good. It started off slow yesterday, but it pretty good so far. But anyway, the offer. So here's what would happen. Let's just say I wanted to send an offer to somebody on an item that was $18.95. Well, eBay was telling me that the offer had to be $20 or lower, right? Work with me, y'all. I'm trying to ship these or package these items up while I'm talking to y'all. So if I seem distracted, that's why. So these drum brake parts, the auto parts have been selling, y'all. Auto parts have been selling fairly decently. Drum brake parts, these was pretty cheap though. It's only $9. But anyway, so $18.95. I go to send an offer. It tells me I have to make it less than $20. So I'm like, what is it? So I'm looking at my listing like, did I do something wrong? Am I running a sale and I'm not? But no, I wasn't running a sale. Nothing was wrong with the listing. And this was on multiple listings or multiple offers that I was trying to send buyers, where eBay was telling me that I had to offer $20, and it was using $20 every time in every instance. That I had to offer $20 or lower, but these were always on items that were already priced less than $20. So that lasted for about a day or two. I actually stopped trying to send offers for about a day, so I don't know exactly when it stopped, but so I'm assuming that with some of these updates and with whatever was causing that offer glitch, that probably may have had something to do with the slower sales. I do know I've seen other people's videos and things talking about sales being slow, so I don't know, man. So these cordless wall pro clippers, I got like 4 of these up right now, so a bunch of these types of clippers, man. But yeah, so, and for 2 weeks there, man, sales was just crazy. Even with me running sales, and I was listing like, 15 to 25 items a day, and it was almost like crickets, man. Last weekend was like bad. Last weekend was bad, y'all. It's on eBay. I don't know. I'm hoping that whatever updates they was doing, whatever thing they was working on, I am hoping that is over and done with. And I'm hoping that moving into this fourth quarter, things, pick up. I also finally sold this. I had this up for almost 2 years, y'all. 2 years. I started off pricing it at about, I want to say 30 something, which was the price that it was priced on, that was priced out on other platforms and stuff. It's actually pretty nice. Look at that. That's pretty scary, huh? It's actually pretty nice. I finally sold it, like 25 bucks. I seen this sale today and I was like, God, thank goodness. Cause I ain't know, hey listen, I said to myself, if this don't sell this Halloween, I'm taking that down. Taking it down, man, because if it can't sell in 2 years, but I was like, why ain't it selling though? Initially when it was priced higher, I could get it, and when I first listed it, initially listed it, I probably listed it too close to Halloween. So really, last year I was expecting it to sell, and it didn't sell last year, but finally sold this year, 25 bucks. It's pretty light. It's goes 2 pounds, so it fits right in here. Y'all about to make me send y'all about to make me send the raw stuff out to the raw people, man. Talking to y'all. This is why I don't like talking and shipping at the same time. Give me a second. Let me switch these labels out. I would have been so mad if after all the time it took for this to sell, I sent it to the wrong person. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, boy. That would have been a hurt piece. Alright, let me just double check one more thing. Make sure this is the right one for the clippers. I was about to send the clippers to the Halloween person, and the Halloween person would have got them some clippers. Not good at all. Alright. We are back on track. And actually, the only reason that happened is because I had the damn label sitting up there for some reason. But anyway. What was I saying? Yeah. Glitches on eBay is, I think, the reason for those last couple weeks being so bad. I hope this past week has been better. Last weekend was pretty good. I think it was coming off last weekend. It was decent. Last weekend was decent. The weekend before that was what sucked, kind of. So, we're going to see, man. I've been listing up everything that I can. I got about $6,000 worth of inventory in. I did post an updated video to the membership section. I'm looking for y'all feedback on some questions and some things I was asking, and how, moving forward, how I want to be able to offer stuff. I do, like I've been saying, I am going to be doing the live sales. The thing is getting the inventory in, and getting it, I got to get it in, I got to get it sorted, and depending on what it is, I got to test it. So that stuff takes time, man. And still run the rest of my business. So it's a lot of work, man. It's a lot of work, and that's one of the things I want to talk about, is the fact that, this isn't easy. I don't know. I think you are seeing also a shift in a lot of resellers' business models because of how much more difficult it's becoming, in large part due to the economy, right? In large part due to the economy. Put these, I buy these little bubble bags, put some of the stuff in that makes it easier. But in large part due to the economy, right? It's becoming, people struggling, man. People struggling. And a lot of resellers' business models is changing. As they should. As they should. When you find, but it's in large part due to the platform that we all, most of us got started on, which is eBay. And so because of some of the things that eBay has been doing, some of the difficulties, promoted listings making things more expensive to sell, cutting into profits, resellers are changing their business models, and they're going to platforms like Whatnot more often. Not even necessarily the Walmarts and the Amazons, but Whatnot. And so I can't say that I blame them. Kudos to them for having the courage to do it, especially as far as content goes, and not worrying about any, criticisms or anything. Not that they should get that. And so, but it's hard work. It's a lot of hard work. Even in me putting up this website and trying to go towards live selling, it's just a transition. And realizing that, people want deals. They still want to buy stuff, but they're not going to pay the prices they used to pay. And are you willing to change the model and cater to that? I think that's what's going to matter going forward, and determine what businesses survive and what businesses don't. You know what I mean? And so kind of been my thing is how can I offer value to my viewers and still make it worth my time, which is, you know, just one of the reasons I'm changing up my YouTube model. Education is good, but education takes time, and at this point it's just I got to weigh my time against the reward that I'm getting for my time, right? And so the thought comes in, okay, well, how can I still, you know, do the YouTube but make it worth doing YouTube? Well, the easy solution is to transform it into a selling platform. Simple, right? Simple. You start selling through YouTube and you kill a couple birds with one stone, right? You bring in another audience. You can drive traffic to a website. If you build a website, you can receive monetary compensation from the views, and you can sell through YouTube for less fees, because it's basically no fees, right? Only fees you're going to pay is, you know, the sales that you have to process. So you kill a few birds with one stone by doing that. And that's kind of my approach going forward. And that's kind of what I'm trying to work on. Well, let me put that a different way. That's not what I'm trying to work on. That is what I am working on. And that is what I am going to be moving that aspect of my business toward. And I don't know, man, maybe some people don't like that, but I really ain't going to let that influence my decision, because at the same time, there will be a lot of people that actually do. And not only that, but there will be a lot of people who will benefit from it, because a lot of people will be able to get some good stuff at a much lower price. You know what I mean? And I'm also creating another safety net for my overall reselling business by, you know, doing it that way, and giving myself, in essence, 2 extra platforms, which would be YouTube and my own website. And in both of those instances, I have more control over what I can sell. And of course, you can't sell no crazy stuff. You got more freedom on your own website than you do on YouTube as far as what you can sell. But I don't really have anything crazy that I'm trying to sell either, so I'm not worried about that. The only thing that gets on my nerves as far as things that I try to sell is, give me a second. Is the crazy OTC policies and some of the other policies that the eBays and some of these other platforms have, when they won't let you sell stuff that you can walk right in your nearest freaking Walmart and pull off the shelf and buy with no prescription. And there's some other things that I would like to sell that I know I can make money on, but that, you know, these platforms give you problems with selling. So it's work. It's a lot of work. It's more than I thought initially. However, I know it's something that I have to start building now if I want to see the results later. You know what I mean? And so I would just say to you guys, man, 1, stay tuned. But 2, don't be discouraged. You gotta open your mind to the possibilities, and you gotta be able to put in the work, or willing to put in the work that it's going to take for you to actually realize those possibilities. It's one thing to have a thought in your head about what can happen or what's possible, but then it's another thing to actually put it into action. And what you're going to find is, when you actually begin to take the steps to put those things into action, it's going to almost always end up being something that is harder than you first realized, that maybe is more challenging than you first realized, that has more hurdles than you first realized. It'll almost never, ever go the way that you pictured it. I can assure you of that. There are very few instances in my life where things went the way that I pictured it, and almost always was harder and more difficult and had challenges that I didn't anticipate. However, And here's the thing that I will admit, and in some of those instances throughout my life, sometimes I quit and I gave up and I never followed through, because when those things came up that I didn't anticipate, I wasn't willing at that time to take on a challenge. Now, I'm not that way no more, right? I'm not that way no more in my life, but a younger me for sure would be discouraged and then put off by those things. And then so the ideal never manifested into the reality. I think a lot of us though are still in that space where once we get to that crossword, or not the crossroads, but once we reach the point when we realize that the ideal is not manifesting and meeting the reality, and it's actually harder, I think a lot of us are still quitting and giving up. And I just want to encourage you, don't do that. Keep going, because not only are you going to learn a lot more in the process, it's going to help you survive in the future and going forward, but you're also going to open up more opportunity for yourself, okay? Because the more you do this and the more that you look to solve the problems that you're going to run into, the more opportunities you're going to come across, because you're going to be doing research and you're going to be talking to people. You're going to be doing this and that and the other. And so things end up happening, doors end up opening. So you got to stay focused, man. eBay has its problems, it's been slow. Walmart has its problems, Amazon has their problems. But at the end of the day, what can you do to solve for those problems? What can you do? It's not always about the inventory you're selling per se, right? Because that same inventory you selling on eBay that's been a problem can be a hot seller on another platform, right? The same issues you've been running into on eBay, running into on eBay, you may not run into on another platform. So you got to solve for the problem. The problem is not necessarily always like switching out what you're selling or changing up the category. And so that's why I'm saying, like, even with me, I'm not necessarily having huge issues with any of the platforms. It's the same old issues, really, when you look at it. But I want more control over my business and the direction that it will go into and what I am able to sell. And so to solve for that problem is also to solve for, like, wanting to do YouTube, but realizing that, like, YouTube takes time and that cuts into me making money, and I got a family to feed, right? I got 9 kids, we got a lot of bills, we coming off of the biggest, wouldn't call it a tragedy, but definitely the biggest, one of the biggest things that we've ever had to deal with. Let's just put it that way. Dealing with the fire and stuff like that. And so it's just like, okay, what do I want to do with my business? How do I want to do it? What is the goal? You know what I mean? What's the goal? And so those goals have to align with the direction that I want, to go in for my family, because the kids are getting older. They want to do stuff, right? That stuff costs money. It's not cheap. And so that means even if I was able to do things in the past that required my time, like, I can't do those same things, because that time honestly has to be monetized, because if not, then it has to go back into them. You know what I mean? So if I'm going to take it away from them, it has to be for a reason. And that's just what it boils down to for me. Everybody's goals are different, man. But that's what it boils down to for me. So when I look at YouTube, it takes a lot of time to do. At least in my case, there's little reward monetarily, right? My channel don't really make nothing. And so I'm like, I don't want to stop it, you know what I mean? But how can I do it in a way that will make it worth it? And so that's when you come up with the solution. Oh, and not only make it worth it, but solve for the issues of having more control, right, over what I can sell, how I can sell it. Well, of course, you monetize the channel like a lot of other people are doing, right? You sell through the channel, you use the channel to drive traffic to your own website, and you build it out. So it's kind of how that goes, man. But again, guys, don't be discouraged. There's an answer to the problem that you're having. You just got to be willing to not only have the courage to move forward with that answer, because you know what the answer is. If your business is struggling and you just having problems, you know what the answer is. You know what the answer is. A lot of times we care too much about what people think, and so we don't do something because we care too much about what people think. Stop caring about what people think, because at the end of the day, the only opinions that matter is what your kids or your spouse thinks, if you have either of those. And if you don't, then the only thing that matters is the opinion of the person that's looking back at you in the mirror. Nothing else matters. And if you're doing things in a way that's, you know, legal and with integrity, then everything else is like, who cares? Who cares? Because some people may like it, some people may not. But at the end of the day, or do you have peace with the decisions that you make? You know what I mean? So that's kind of all I got for now, man. I should be able to drop another video or two this week. I ain't got a lot as much as I had going on the last 2 weeks. Still busy, but I ain't got as much going on as I did have. So I'll talk to y'all in the next one. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see y'all later.